So, there has been a lot of views on the very first video that I edited and posted on YouTube, which I did not think was going to be the case. People on YouTube say that no one is ever going to see your first few videos, and that was not the case for me. And the Milans actually shared my video. And because my first video was a little rough and ready, I forgot to expand on a few things and mention a few things. I wasn't even reading from bullet points so that I would remember everything that I wanted to say. So I wanted to take the opportunity to correct a few things that I wish I would have said. In case you're new here, hi, I'm Ellie, and this is my art channel devoted to helping creatives unlock their potential so you can spend less time beating yourself up and more time creating the things that you are passionate about. So I can't say that I've leapfrogged in my editing skills, but I do believe my writing and my process has gotten a little bit smoother. So hopefully I can get through all the edit points that I would. A few random points are that I've gotten a lot of questions about the students in the program. The majority are female. Think that I was on the younger side of the students in my mentors group. I'm 35, and I believe that there's a preconceived notion that a lot of young women are taking this program, and maybe there are, but I actually think that the majority are working professional women or even retired. Another point I wanted to make is if I wasn't clear, would I recommend this program? Yes. If you want to be a painter, if you want to be a glass blower, or a sculptor, or ceramics, or anything like that, you would need a specialty program for that specific type of art. But for painting, absolutely, I would recommend this program. The mistake that I want to correct is that I said that the voice section was in the portfolio section, which was wrong. The voice section is in the second part, or the mixed media part of the program. I think in a lot of people's cases, and definitely for me, the process of finding your voice bleeds into the portfolio section. So I think that's why I got confused and said it was in the third part, because you continue to develop your voice throughout the program and, of course, your artistic career. You are learning and practicing at an arguably accelerated rate. So as you are developing your voice, those types of insights are things that artists usually develop over the course of years and years of just working as an artist. And so I wanted to dive a little bit further into the idea of your voice. This is what the mastery program would define as your aesthetic, plus your taste, plus your process. I also believe, and this is just my own personal findings, but I think that your why is also a huge part of your voice. So this is the first thing that I want to expand upon that I wish I would have done in the first video, that I didn't think thousands of people would see. Why is it that you want to paint? What do you want to paint? And why that? What inspires you? And it goes even deeper than that. I started selling art again to help my family, but why not something else? It really gets your wheels turning and boils down to, what is your art going to tell the world? Because you are your art, and it's hard facing those things and sharing your heart. This section really makes you go introspective, and it is probably the best part of the program. And it is just what a lot of art programs, I guess, maybe don't think to talk about. They talk about more the technical side of things. But you can learn all the techniques and the skills in the world. But if you don't know why you're using that tool or that technique, then you might not want to wake up every day and paint. Your why has to be greater than your resistance, and it has to sort of be beyond yourself. It's what you're trying to communicate as an artist. And these are the kind of breakthroughs that I had while going through the program, which brings me to the next point. This is when I reached out to Brie Bordeaux, and she happily agreed to take me on as a mentee. I knew what I was facing as an artist was going to take more than a tutorial for me to figure out. I needed a sounding board, and I will admit, most of my phone calls and messaging with Brie felt more like therapy sessions. Art has been incredibly healing to me and has always been kind of a coping mechanism to deal with anxiety or depression, grief, things that I've been going through, especially after losing my dad. This is also how I connect with my mom, who is also an artist, and now with my own kids. And I remember my first Zoom call with Brie, I ended with both of us in tears because of the type of stuff we were sharing revolving our art and our artistic journeys and just life in general. But I am very grateful for the level of care that Brie had for her students, or has for her students. I always felt like I was the only student that she had when I was talking to her. And Milan's, if you're watching this, I think maybe she could use a raise. But seriously, I can't wait to meet her one day. Also, having someone to be able to just look at your work and quickly tell you what's wrong and how you can fix it saves a lot of frustration and time, which is my next point that I wish I would have expanded on. I mentioned how much time that the mastery program saves you. You can go figure all this stuff out. That's true, but you would be giving up your time to do that. And the issue with this is that time is our greatest commodity. A lot of people think that money is, but you could always go make more money, but you can never make more time. But how much your time is worth is up to you. This program is worth way more than what it's teaching. And even more so when you add the community and the accountability aspect with the coaching. And I thought it was worth it because even though I don't have a lot of money laying around, I mentioned I went back into art so I could start helping my family out, start selling art again. I'm just impatient and I wanted to be able to figure stuff out so I can move from point A to point B and get stuff done and move on to the next thing. So I said that confidence was the greatest thing that the mastery program gave me. But in reality, it's probably the value of time that I saved. Now, I'm going to read you a post that I posted on Instagram. I wanted to share what I wrote. So this is when I got my certificate in the mail, and I had tagged all the Milans in here so that hopefully they would see it. So now that I know that they saw my first video, maybe they'll see this. So I said, so stoked this finally came today. I don't even have my bachelor's degree hanging on my wall, but I immediately put this into a frame. Mostly because the carrier messed up the first one that came, but still. I'm probably going to make a reel to share all the emotions that came up opening that envelope, but in a nutshell, I cried. Way more than I was anticipating. All I can say is that I didn't think it was possible, but some things lined up and I was able to invest in myself and my future. The master program was the art school I wish I would have gone to 15 plus years ago because it gave me something back that I had lost, and that was time. I was able to gain something that I lacked as a person, and that was confidence. I started selling art to help my family, and then I quickly realized how much I needed to do this for myself, to better myself so I can actually help my family way more than I was originally planning. This journey over the last year has taught me so much, and through the ups and downs, I finally believe what my husband has been telling me for 10 years. But for real, thank you so much for dreaming with me, Philip, and my mom, for supporting me 100% while I chase these goals. I thought I'd feel like an artist after I opened this envelope, but it happened somewhere along the way through the community of positive world changers the Milan family is cultivating. So thank you from the bottom of my heart in believing in me and others when I didn't believe in myself, and pushing me past the resistance I've been battling for those 20 years of avoiding my calling. So, which leads me into what I'd like to say next in hopes that Ellie does see this. I can't go to the graduation ceremony this year, unfortunately. My kids are just too young for me to do something like that. But if you were handing me my certificate, Ellie, I would say I knew that I could do it because you did it. I didn't believe in myself. I was in a dark place and I was just getting through each day's grind, thinking I could go after my dreams after my kids grew up. And I truly wasn't happy in my life. I had gone through a lot of dark times from loss and grief. And I was just trying to put my family first. I was putting everybody before myself just so I didn't have to face the heartache that I was dealing with. But I did start doing art again. And then I found the mastery program and I saw that Ellie did this with young kids. She had 4 young kids and a husband like me. And I thought, I might not get to the level of success that you've gotten to, but I can do something. I can at least do a little bit and start helping my family. But she encouraged me and empowered me to do it for myself, which in reality is how we can show up and be the best versions of ourselves for our family, is when we actually do take care of ourselves. Every lesson that I watched, Ellie pushed me, and her belief in her students helped me to believe in myself just a little bit more each time. I know that's her why, to help and encourage other artists to become successful professional artists. And I respect and align with that so much because of what I want to show my daughter. And a caveat here has to do with my why, and that is my kids. I want to help my daughter who's 16, who does suffer with depression and anxiety, and she draws every day. She actually inspired me to start doing art again a few years ago. And that's what I want to share with you all as well. I want to show that you can be a successful artist if you want to be. She's deciding what college she wants to go to now. And I think she wants a more stable career, kind of like I did. And I just see myself as a young person thinking, oh, art isn't a good choice. It's not stable like what I with my mom. And I know one day she's going to wake up and wish she would have taken the journey sooner. When I asked her why she doesn't want to become an artist, she asked me why I'm not becoming an artist. This was a few years ago. She asked me, why am I not doing it? So I'm showing her that it is possible. I'm not waiting another 20 years after all my kids are grown to pick up where I left off. I'm all in, and that's what it takes. It just takes being all in and believing in yourself. And if you don't fully right now, that's okay. But I would suggest surrounding yourself with people who do believe in you. And the last piece of advice that I want to give is that it's never too late. And if I can do it, you can do it. And whether you think this program is a good fit for you or not is okay. If you want to be an artist, all you have to do is decide that you want to be an artist, and you can do it. If you want that kind of encouragement, I'd love for you to hit that like and subscribe button and stick around because that is the content that I am going to be creating. My goal for this channel is to inspire, motivate, and encourage other artists as I'm also learning and growing as an artist myself. If you didn't watch my first review video, I will link it in the cards and in the description. And also, if you are interested in the mastery program, if you think that is a good fit for you, I do have a link in the description for it. If you have any questions about it, please drop them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them. And if you haven't already today, go get creating.